Hey everyone, I'm Allegra Stein, and I just got off of a discovery call actually with a coach who's considering getting some mentorship help and support. And this idea and clarity surfaced as a result of our chat that I really, really needed to capture and share with all of you because I think it could be helpful for a lot of people. So, this coach, she's awesome, skilled, and she was talking about how she's struggling to, it started with, I need to pick a niche. And I said, well, what do you mean by that? And she says, well, I need to pick a topic. You know, I've done work on confidence. I've done work around anxiety. I've done work around relationship building. I've done leadership coaching, right? So there were all these like specific ideas, topics, problems, let's say, that she is skilled in helping with. But nothing has really stuck as like the thing she wants to build a business around. So I like to say that, you know, if you want to build a bakery, it's really good and helpful to know what your signature cookie is first. And in the coaching industry, I think it's presented in the wrong order. We're kind of told, oh, you want to coach? You want to figure out yourself? Well, build your bakery first. Make all these decisions about your business, and then you can figure that stuff out. I am a bigger fan of, what if we figure out what your signature cookie is so that you feel really confident in the decisions that you're then going to make around turning that into a business. But again, the urgency to like start a business is so hammered in that we don't give ourselves that creative, playful flexibility to really experiment and play. So she's trying to figure out her signature cookie, I guess. That's how that all fits together. And she's got all these things that she really likes to help with. And she also has all of these skills and things that she likes doing. She has strengths and she has interests. There are things that light her up. There are things that aren't lighting her up. One of the things that she was struggling with, and this might feel relatable, she's like, the way that I like to help people just doesn't feel like what coaching is. I guess I'm not a very good coach. Or she really loves teaching. She loves guiding. She loves instructing. And not uncommon, I think, for coaches, there's this idea that that's not coaching. And so how do I resolve this with like, you know, I'm a coach, but I'm not really inspired by what I think coaching is. And I really want to do this other stuff, but I'm also supposed to be a coach. So 2 ideas surfaced out of this that I want to share with you that I hope, one, if you're finding this relatable and you're still here, I hope you find helpful too. The first is this. I want you to remember that as a provider of help, you've got a boat. Your boat is this thing that you create to help people do something. And as part of your boat, you've got a lot of different sails. You've got a lot of different sails. These sails are your experience. These sails are your skills, all the tools that you've learned, your quirks, your personality. Like this is this beautiful work that you do to help someone move from, as Tad Hargrave teaches it, Island A to Island B. And you've got a really unique, special boat. And you need to really embrace and build confidence in all of the things that make what you do really special and awesome. Now, if this boat is called coaching, like if you want to call your boat coaching, great. Call what you do coaching. But if you look at all of the things that you love to do and the way that you love to help people, I'm sorry, that might be backwards. I'm not sure. All the ways that you love to help people and you're like, it's not what I think coaching is, that's fine. Call it something else. Don't constrain yourself to whatever definition of coaching you've been taught and essentially hold back on all these other awesome ways that you have to help people to call it something. If what you do does not fit within the definition of what you've been told coaching is, then either change what your definition of coaching is or don't call it coaching anymore. In this case, this woman I was talking to, she's like, oh, maybe I'm not, like, maybe I'm a teacher, maybe I'm a guide, maybe I'm a tour guide. Like there's so many different labels, if you need one, to kind of capture what it is that we do for people, that I don't want you to be held back by coaching anymore. Now, coaching might be one of your sales. those skills and those tools that you learned as part of your coaching certification might be one of the sails on your boat. So for example, I call myself a mentor and a teacher and a coach. And the principles of coaching that I bring into that coaching piece is one, I always really work to keep my clients in choice. I never pretend that I know the right answer for them. I put a lot of ideas on the table because I'm an ideator, but I don't know what the right answer is going to be. That is going to come from the client. I practice deep listening. I really am always trying to create that space in my mind of just open, spacious listening, because I know how much value that space can hold for the client to be able to process and share. So coaching is one of my sales, but it's not the only thing that I do. And I just want to kind of put that on the table for you, that the journey that you take people on, or the experience you create for people, call it whatever you want, but whatever you do, do not hold back on the ways that you naturally help people. And there are lots of ways to figure that out. That's why I love doing strengths work. That's why I love celebrating your quirks and your personality and your experience and all of your wisdom, because all of those things are going to come into your partnerships with people. The second idea, and if this is a lot, I'm sorry, I'm really inspired, but I have to capture it. The second idea is this. You've likely heard there's this phrase that I really love, find a problem that you're in love with and you're set. Because if you can find a problem that a group of people have and create a solution for it, that's just can be a very effective way of approaching running a business and having a coaching practice. Is you've got a problem, I've got a solution. Now, how do I just marry those things and get them to you at the right time? I suspect that a lot of your purchases were inspired because there's a problem that you needed to solve. So, for example, I recently got a dog, and within days, I was spending $49 on a dog training course because all of a sudden I had this problem, and the person who I purchased for just happened to be there at the right moment, and I was willing to give them money in order to have my problem solved. Okay. I'm sure you have lots of examples of this in your own life. Look at your patterns as a consumer to better understand what you need to establish as a business owner, right? It's just a way of kind of zooming out from the matrix and seeing how it all works. Anyway, rather than trying to pick one specific thing. So again, going back to this person I just spoke with, rather than just picking anxiety or relationships or stress or overwhelm, find a journey that you're in love with. What journey are you inspired by? Because under the umbrella of that journey, you can talk about all of the different topics that you have interest in. And the journey is something that someone's actually going through in life. The journey of divorce, the journey of retirement, the journey of motherhood. I am incredibly inspired by the journey of becoming a coach and starting a coaching practice. I have a lot of experience in it. I've been through it myself. The journey you're inspired by is likely one that you've also been on. Maybe you've relocated. Maybe you've struggled with chronic illness. Maybe you've experienced an injury and had to recover from that. What is the life journey? The thing that people out there would be like, oh yeah, I've been through that too. What is the journey you're in love with? And that potentially could be the starting point for all of these kind of sub conversations that you want to have and teach. Because again, under the journey of coaching, I can talk about a lot of problems and things and topics that I am interested in. So it allows for that freedom of having lots of things that we want to teach and can help with, but it is contained and constrained by the journey that it falls under. And I just wonder if that might not help some of you who feel like, but there's so many things that I'm interested in, which I totally get. And, as she said, I feel internal resistance to picking one thing. If you feel internal resistance to picking one thing, It might be because you're trying to pick from one of these like very specific topics or problems, but you might not have resistance to finding and focusing on a particular journey that you're really inspired by. Okay, if you've watched this far, thanks for listening. Share all of your comments and reflections below. Feel free to subscribe, share it with your friends, pass it on. I'm really glad you're here. Thank you. Talk to you soon.